Welcome once again to the Silverhawk Medicine Lodge and Discourse number 18 from Revelation Book 2, The Magical Mystery Tour. Today, our topic is Big Medicine, Big Trees. Another medicine story along the path of service to the I Am as Agent Steward, and what kind of things can happen for you as you walk this path. I was reading the San Francisco Chronicle in 1977 down at the coffee shop in the middle of town in Mill Valley, California. And Jimmy Carter was the new president then, and there was a story going on, a big controversy in California about a very large virgin forest of sequoias, or redwood trees, that these logging companies wanted to cut down. Sitting there like a big ripe plum they want to pick. And there was a lot of people in an uproar, wanted to have protection for these trees to preserve them, because there wasn't very many virgin forests left of these wonderful trees. However, the logging companies and loggers were really set on cutting them all down, so they showed up in Washington in logging trucks. I think there was maybe 200 of them, more or less, riding around in a circle around the White House, protesting the idea of stopping them from harvesting these trees. So Jimmy Carter was kind of under siege by these big logging interests, and then on the other side was people who wanted to protect the trees. So he was wavering, and he was a new president, and he wasn't really sure maybe what to do. So I consulted the Great Spirit and wondered if there was a medicine that could weigh in on the matter, because I was on the side of the people wanting to keep the trees from being cut. And I thought it was a good idea, since we don't have that many left like this. So it came to me in the stillness, a perception of what to do. And I had a friend who was a caretaker for an estate up on Mount Tamalpais, and thought I'd go up there and powwow with him about this. So I was sharing with my friend the medicine I was seeing to do, and he was going to bear witness. So we went for a walk in the garden that he was caretaker for, and there were many sequoia trees in the garden. And I explained what I was perceiving was that the source field, or unified field of spirit, causes a oneness between all things. And there could be a medicine for the trees based on this oneness if I were to go into a unity with the trees and their life force and their spirit. Then all the trees are connected through the earth and sky, and they're all one, and they could be energized in special ways to intervene. So the way I was seeing to do this, I went up to a sequoia. It wasn't a huge sequoia, maybe 1.5 feet in diameter, and went up and put my arms around the tree and let my heart melt into love with the tree, and spoke to it and said, well, they want to cut down some of your big brothers up there in the north, so we need to contact the president to sign a bill of protection. And so I'm sending my love and thought through your people, through your beings, out to Washington. See, there were trees around the White House, and it was in my mind that they could whisper their energy and message to the president and set up a kind of a force field or a intervention kind of medicine. So I sent my love through all the trees and to the trees around the White House and said, go ahead and whisper to the president, and that you would like him to sign this bill to protect your fellows from annihilation. And so this was a really wonderful feeling and energy of unity and love between species in the source field unity, and was flowing out from me in a beautiful way, and went on for a little while. And then I considered the medicine done. Now there was a few days went by, and then I read in the newspaper that President Carter had signed the bill to protect the trees, and all the raging of the loggers was overridden and the trees protected. Well, this was truly amazing, and one might speculate, well, that might have happened anyway. Oh, that's true. But then again, who knows what would have happened if I hadn't done the medicine. It's pretty coincidental, but I knew it was the medicine that made the difference. So Mill Valley was a pretty culturally vigorous town, and a lot of things and people there start new trends in society, and this have a way of spreading around the world. And I noticed a year or two later, or thereabouts, a phenomenon that was catching on among the people, and they were calling it tree hugging. And I realized what had happened. My friend had told this story to certain people in town and this medicine, and people started getting the idea that they were going to be tree huggers. However, they hadn't been introduced to what that was all about and what the purpose of it was. But I suppose hugging a tree is pretty nice, better than cutting it down. But I thought I'd share this medicine so that people who are tree huggers would know where it came from and what it was all about and the kind of medicine that was behind it, so that it wouldn't just be something silly that you want to do. And I guess I'm responsible for the social phenomenon of tree hugging, which is kind of funny, but there's medicine behind it, and it was a beautiful medicine. It was effective, And this is the kind of action that we can take as stewards and agents for life, for the I Am, for the creators, and be good stewards of creation. And you never know what might come up for you to do when you make your mind and spirit available in service, in a selfless kind of service. I didn't ask for anything in return. I never charge anything for medicine. It's just a way of life and what I do for life as a way of giving back to life for my life. And that is a beautiful balance that we can have. So we can intervene in anything and everything as stewards and caretakers, as agents of the Creator. We never have to settle for anything, and we are never powerless. Not ever are we powerless. We can unify with power and affect the course of history and affect everything in life in a beautiful and powerful way with our love, with the love from Source can come through us. And this is very important knowledge for anyone wanting to wake up from the dream of the Matrix and realize who they are, what they are, and why they're here in the universe, and to know the truth about it. So that's why I have the planetary prayer command available on my website. You can directly intervene and direct source energy right into the planet, even from the great central sun of this galaxy. And you can be an earth angel agent in a very powerful way whenever you feel inspired to do so, prompted, you feel passionate or quickened about it, go ahead and do it. It's yours to do whenever you desire, whenever you please, whenever you feel prompted. And the teaching that you can move a mountain with a thimble full of faith is true. It's absolutely true. However, it's an impersonal, selfless, and loving state. You don't do these things for reward or to stroke your ego. They're service to life in a selfless kind of love. And then it will come back to you as love from life. So that's my medicine story for today. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I invite you to meditate further and more deeply, if you wish, and see what you might see in your mystery school. So until tomorrow, I bid you Amun Ra, Namaste, Carpe Diem, seize the day, Vaya con Dios, go with God, Aho.